Hey everybody, it's your pal Mike Zombie, and this week we're going to talk about Zombie Babies from 2011. Folks, I'm back, and if I leave I guess I'll submit my hacking cough, almost barf I just did, to Daryl for the end of where we put the bloopers on. I'm still sick, and my apologies to the Finley residents, as I've been invited to their house this Sunday to watch Dawn of the Dead with Will, Katie, and Alicia, so we can talk about it as we promised to on a previous Zombie Mob, and I'm still not 100%. In fact, I'm well under 100%, so we're going to give it an extra week, but that's coming. Oh, right, we're talking about Zombie Babies 2011. This is on IMDb, and it's got a very generous 2.8 stars. This, I'm going to level with you. I really believe this might be the worst zombie film I've ever seen. And you know I've seen. I really should have tallied how many I've seen, since I became an adult, because I know I'm in the hundreds at this point. But this was so incredibly awful that it really makes this review easy, to be honest with you. At first, let me say the good things about this. I'm going to say some positive things about this film, and I do mean it. I was so pissed at how bad this film was, I jumped online and I was looking around. Turns out this was funded through Kickstarter, and that I thought was really cool. That people cared enough, got behind the cast, got behind Mr. Hardiman, who wrote and directed this, and ponied up the cash for this. And it was really good to see Kickstarter actually working in a genre that I enjoy. And this really made me think that I need to do something in film based through Kickstarter, because if they could do this, I could do something way better. Now, I'm going to get to what, and I'm hoping, could someone from Zombie Babies contact us with the podcast? Were you intentionally making an awful film? Because if you were, then I'd be okay with this. But if you were really trying to make a film, okay. The plot was incredibly dumb and ridiculous, which is okay in some cases, because you can make up for it with compelling acting, good special effects, or just good fear. This did none of that. Okay. I'm really struggling. I didn't even finish watching this film. I don't mind telling you. I gave up on the last 15 minutes. It's like, fuck it. I'd rather go to bed on time than finish this. There is Burt Fleming's Mountaintop Hotel. It's also a casino, apparently, and a retreat, though it looks like the inside of a cafeteria and maybe a real rundown motel. And their claim to fame is they do discount abortions with a coat hanger, which I guess isn't all that shocking. But they send out flyers among the community because they're inviting couples that don't want to be burdened down with a child to show up, to spend the night, enjoy themselves at the retreat, and get an abortion for $30 total. So I guess 4 ne'er-do-well couples show up and take advantage of this offer. How could you pass this up? God. The special effects were so bad in this film. According to the Kickstarter campaign, they've made many films, and they're giving away swag from their other films for donating to this. Initially, I noticed when the film starts, they had incredible overuse of green screening with apparently no green screen experience, education, or dexterity. No, they're not well steeped in green screen knowledge, because you can see people are walking around and why bother taking people outside and filming them walking around in the night, looking natural, speaking in front of lights, when you can green screen darkness behind them and fog, and it looks weird, it looks fuzzy, because they're not quite matching up, because you didn't plan it right. But also, not to be missed, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to turn this negative into a positive as to why Zombie Babies was the funniest, shittiest movie I've ever seen from a production standpoint. See, my voice is already starting to go. I've been saving it all day. Saving it all day for this, and I'm going to give it all right now. Let's see. The audio, which was great, because while these people are standing in front of a green screen of a complex scene such as darkness, which of course, again, cannot be replicated in the natural world without having a green screen. I guess if you have it, why not use it, I guess? I don't know. But they're standing there and they're talking side by side, and the audio seems weird. This film throughout, the music always overpowered the audio. So there were plenty of parts in this film where people are talking, you see their mouths moving, but all you hear is music because someone didn't know how to mix this, which I laughed because I was like, oh, that was a fuck up. And then it kept happening. I'm like, okay, this is an annoying fuck up. But then when you could hear people talk, they'd be standing side by side, and one lady would be like, oh my God, what are we doing here? But then the guy next to her would speak, and it was obvious it was dubbed because you would hear her voice was nice and clear. Oh my God, what are we doing here? And when he speaks, it's like you hear wind and static because it was recorded separately. It's like, I don't know. Well, what should we do? Maybe we should go to the house. Like, what the fuck? This can't be happening to me. Yeah, it can. So I'm just going to cut down into this film and get it over with because this is one of those get it over with films. So 2 of the 4 women or 3 of the women have their abortions via coat hanger, which of course is always a treat. And he's just doing it. He's just pulling them out. And he's doing his weird little dance and singing as he's pulling these fetuses out. And he's got a pile of fetuses in his basement, along with a still, which is apparently blowing up. And for some reason, the alcohol is bringing these fetuses back to life. So fetuses are now killers. And I'm trying to think. Oh, and the beauty is all the fetuses are little creations. They're not like dolls. It was like fashioned out of, I don't know, foam rubber or something. But they're operated by sticks. There's like a chopstick in the arm, and they use these little sticks to make them move. So they thought, hey, fuck it. Since we've got this awesome green screen capability, why not? We'll have the operators. We'll take a cue from Jim Henson Productions and put the people right out front, and we'll hide them. We'll mask them with the green screen. So the beauty is you see this little fetus that looks like a zombie, and you see the outline of a man behind him and the outline of the sticks as he's making it happen. So you're not even looking at the baby. You're looking at the outline of this guy going, holy shit, did a retard do this? And what's really great is they had side lighting on the green screen. So not only do you see the outline of the man and the sticks as he's making it happen, but you see a very obvious shadow of all of him and the sticks and everything on the side. Holy shit. I have to wonder, again, was this a joke? There was 2 moments that I'd like to point out that I really did enjoy. And it's real simple because they thought, hey, since this movie is not going to win any Academy Awards, we should put some pretty topless women in there. And they did. I would like to extend a marriage invitation to Desiree Sasha. My God, Desiree. And you were the highlight of the film for me. You looked kind of mean. You kind of had that sneer going on. But then when you were laying on top of the dead guy and eating all his poop, you were like smiling, and you had a really charming smile. So Desiree, very nice. And Missy Dawn, who played some other girl that was knocked up getting a coat hanger abortion, she was topless as well. She reminded me very much of Apollonia from Godfather, where she takes her top off for Michael Corleone on their wedding night. And you know those boobs when you see them, and it's hard to describe as a man. A woman could probably describe it much better. Very unique breasts, and Missy certainly had those. That was the other thumbs up on this film. Now, maybe you think I'm being too harsh. I officially punched out on this film when there was a man who was actually Desiree's, I guess, partner in this film, the guy. He was obviously pretending to be Thurston Howell III. He had a sailor cap on. He was doing the voice of Jim Backus just as Thurston did. And he tied himself, and this man had a penchant for hookers, cheap hookers. And he's laying on his back, and Desiree has knocked herself out in the shower. But he thinks she's in there getting ready for him, and he ties himself down to the bed and blindfolds himself, and he thinks it's her as reanimated fetus crawls up on the bed, hovers over his face, and he starts to rim job the ass of this abortion. And he's like, he is licking the ass of this thing like crazy. And this little zombie fetus expels probably 7 or 8 gallons of diarrhea into his mouth and all over his body. At that point, I had to say to myself, you know what? Rim jobbing an aborted fetus, it's a zombie. I kind of got to punch out here. I'm not grossed out by it. It's just dumb. Remarkably dumb. Oh, and then there was the other part where one of the girls, let's see, the guy gets the baby trapped in the blender. And by the way, that's a ripoff from Dead Alive, by the way. Gets the baby in the blender and he fires it up. And of all things to come rocketing out of this blender, besides baby parts, is the baby's dick. And it flies across the room into this woman's mouth. And as she pulls this little tiny baby dick out, it just fucking jizzes all over her face. So, yeah, I knew I was done at that point. And I clicked ahead. For some reason, my VLC media player would not speed this up. I kept trying to watch it at double speed to get it done, and it wasn't cooperating. So I just fucking walked and gave up. So anybody here listening that knows anybody from Zombie Babies, from that camp, if you would like to defend this, I'd love to talk to you. I'd like to know what you were thinking. If this is something you just did for fun, well, that's one thing. If you did it to be tacky and creepy and silly, okay, then I could probably accept that. But this is being presented on IMDb, and you made it look pretty official. So, I don't know. And, of course, Desiree Seisha, my marriage proposal stands. Anyways, that's... Oh. Hold on. Do I even need to say... you know what? This movie isn't even fit for the Berdinsky rating scale. It's not. I'm not going to bring it up. It's sub don't bother. Now, another thing I came across was a film called L.A. Zombie. So, when I was trying to figure out what I was going to watch this week, I downloaded L.A. Zombie, and I hit play, and it became clear to me very early on that it was a gay porno, which it's not a problem. I mean, I wasn't like, freaking out. But I was like, oh, wait, so this is a gay zombie porno? So I'm watching as this zombie, and I was, I'm not trying to get into the film, so I'm skipping ahead. And I see as a zombie gets into a car with a guy, and they get into a wreck, like the zombie's walking around like, okay, well, fuck, where'd my ride go? And a guy's laying there dead in the road. And so the zombie gets on the guy's face and starts fucking him in the face. I mean, this is what I saw. And it reanimates the other guy as a zombie. And then he starts, poking him in the butt and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, okay, well, this isn't my cup of tea, so I'm not going to watch. But I just wanted to say, I know nothing about this film. I don't know who made it. I'm not going to do any research on it because I really don't care. But I want to say that if anybody knows anybody involved in the making of L.A. Zombie, I really think that's in poor taste. I mean, so the apocalypse and the undead, the zombie infection spreads with a zombie fucking other people, other men in the ass. I don't know. I think it's safe to say that every one of us, whether you know it or not, you're going to know someone with HIV or AIDS in your lifetime. And the odds are pretty good. You may lose a friend. You may have lost a friend or family member, someone you loved. I don't know. I'd kind of like to see, and I know people that make porn films. I know people that make porn films for a living, and not necessarily gay, but to me, it is what it is. And I really would like to see people making gay porno especially to kind of take the high road. Do we really need to mock infection being transmitted from dick to ass, from man to man? Is that funny? I don't think so. I mean, I don't find that funny. I find it kind of sad. Anyway, I didn't watch the whole film. Maybe there's some underlying tone of, hey, we're going to find a cure. I don't know. I didn't give it a chance because, frankly, I don't watch gay porn. But what I did see, it kind of troubled me. That's not the message I want to see. Anyway, and what I saw of the gay porno zombie film was more entertaining than Zombie Babies. What does that tell you? I don't know. And I only saw about 30, 40 seconds of it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, he's getting him right in the butt. All right, well, I'm going to turn this off. So, I don't know. Zombies, be you gay, straight, or not even knowing, you're fine by me. Just don't bite me. I don't want to be a zombie. If you're a gay zombie, don't hit me in the butt either. I did not like it in life. I will not like it in death. I'm sick. I'm tired. Going to bed. You guys have a great weekend. Sorry I don't have better news for you. I'm sorry the films weren't that great. Again, I don't know. This was just a bummer, but I am looking forward to next Sunday getting some Dawn of the Dead 78 going on with some pals. That's going to be real good. So, and you will hear the fruits of that in an upcoming zombie mob. So, you guys take care. Have a good weekend. And if it's not too late, get a goddamn flu shot, folks. I got one like 2 months ago. I'm glad I did. This cold would just go away.